This is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, a platform fighter most similarly to Smash, with Nickelodeon characters. This is Gerald from Hey Arnold. I don't know where Arnold is. Trust me, I've been asking this too, but this is Gerald. And here's a move that literally nobody uses, and I'm going to tell you everything about it. This is Gerald's up strong. It's a grounded option to counter aerial approaches. It's pretty good at fulfilling that purpose for Gerald and his moveset, as it kills at fairly reasonable percents, and the way the hitbox is designed makes it pretty disjointed, so that it can beat most opponents' aerials. Speaking of the hitbox, I'm going to show you guys how it looks, so that you can fully understand how kind of strange this move was made, and why it's so good at its job. Gerald's up strong in its entire duration is about 44 frames, including the end lag and the startup. So it first starts off with Gerald getting on his knees, and then putting the boombox on his shoulder and getting into the position that he's going to be in for a majority of the move. Then the hitboxes show up. There's 4 hitboxes in total. A main hitbox, which surrounds Gerald's head, the upper part of his chest, as well as the boombox itself. And then there's the 3 smaller hitboxes that are on top of this main hitbox. They kind of follow throughout the duration of the move the music sound waves that appear outside of the boombox, and these 3 hitboxes spread outward and upward, covering Gerald's head and his hair. After a few frames of all these hitboxes, and once the 3 smaller hitboxes reach their destination, the main hitbox itself disappears and goes away, and the 3 smaller hitboxes remain for a few frames until all the hitboxes are gone, and Gerald begins getting up and beginning his end lag animation. But then as Gerald begins to stand up and get on his foot, another hitbox will appear for a few frames. This hitbox is way weaker than every other hitbox on this move. It's only present for a few frames, and it's super weak, and it basically is the same shape as that first initial hitbox that surrounds Gerald and his face and the boombox and the upper part of his chest. And it basically is just there to linger for a few frames and cover him as he exits the animation. It's very strange that this hitbox is here. It's not useless, it'll hit, but it's just really weird. After that, the rest of the recovery animation plays, and that's pretty much the move. So, now that we fully understand how Gerald's hitboxes work for his up strong, let's talk about its gameplay uses. So, one of its most important gameplay uses that I found is it's great at covering options because of its lingering hitboxes. It allows Gerald to throw this move out to cover space instead of just punishing opponents who miss their attacks or anti-airing. This move is also great because of the animation itself. Like we talked about earlier, because Gerald kind of puts the boombox above him and by his head, kind of bends his hurt box backwards. So hitting him while he's facing you and doing this move can prove difficult sometimes. Also, in my experience, this is just a great move to put out in a spot you think your opponent is going to land. Most players will land with an attack anyway, so up strong gives you a great option to beat out most of these moves. That final weird lingering hitbox also was great to hit opponents if they dodge the first hit. It doesn't seem super useful, and I still have no clue why it's even programmed into the game the way it is, but it has hit for me a few times. Another interesting thing I'd like to note about Gerald is in his kit, he's basically a mid-range zoner, but he has a lot of brawly and swordy-like moves, where he'll use a stick, or he'll use a sign, or he'll kind of just beat the crap out of you with his hands, or different weapons, I guess. They're not really weapons, they're just stuff. He's a child, you know? Even with these tools, characters with longer range weapons can give Gerald a lot of problems, but because of Upstrong's hitbox, and it being so big, it can often be used to contest with characters who have weapons, like swords or even big landing hitboxes. Upstrong can still sometimes go through them, especially if you time it so that the hitboxes that are present on the music sound waves are higher up when the opponent is trying to land. Because those hitboxes are so far away from your hurtbox, that can greatly increase your chances of not really getting hit or trading with the move at all and having your opponent just take the full damage and knock back. One of the last things I want to note about this move is it has a really specific, unique property that's exclusive to this move as far as I know. I don't know any other strong attacks in NASB 2 that work this way, but because Gerald's up strong is him sliding kind of on his knees with the boombox in his hand over his shoulder, if you run and then start charging this up strong, He will carry his momentum and slide across the ground. It goes pretty much about halfway across most stages if the button is held fully, but the momentum will be canceled and will stop entirely once you let go of the button to activate the move and have the hitbox come out. This is a really, really cool option and super unique because it allows Gerald to charge up strong to punish bad escape options from opponents, like tech rolls or air dodges or even shield rolls. It does unfortunately leave him vulnerable as he has to release the charge and do the move, which can put him into end lag, or if he overshoots it or undershoots the move, he still has to, you know, he whiffed an up strong. Like it still has some end lag. But this gives Gerald a very unique and a really, really cool option to punish bad escape options if you have a read on your opponent's movement. So it's honestly really fun using this option, trying to work it in. If you can make your opponent afraid of your horizontally traveling projectiles, punishing with up strong when they're landing and they're kind of out of landing options and they need to air dodge to dodge your upcoming attack, it can be a great way to punish that stuff. And it's really fun.
You've been playing all day, right?
We've been playing for about 3 hours.
Do we want? Yeah, no, we can do it. We can do it.
I'm down.
I don't think I can play League for that long. I played it.
It's for the content, Nestor. It's for the content. The more ads you watch, Nestor, the closer I am to getting Piccolo in Fortnite, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.